Hey guys, hope everyone's having a good week. Tomorrow's Thursday, April 16th. So just a couple of things. Remember your project is due on the 23rd, your final project. But what's due tomorrow, and it's your attendance check for tomorrow. So this needs to be done by 4 o'clock tomorrow, or actually, let's be honest, it needs to be done before I check attendance on Friday morning, okay? But this is your bibliography. So it's just telling me your 5 sources that you're going to use for your project. You just fill out the Google form, turn that in. It's the only thing that is due for tomorrow is your bibliography for your project. 5 sources, one of which needs to be a primary source. Unless you're doing the interview. If you're interviewing someone, then your only source is the person you're interviewing. So the final projects will be turned in on Thursday. Guys, just however you need to get it to me. If you wrote a speech in like a Google document speech, just email me the speech. If you did a presentation, you'll send me the presentation. If you did an interview video or a podcast, or a video blog or a video, right? Just you'll just email that to me, and as soon as I see an email from you, I'll respond and say, hey, I got your project. So, but those are due next Thursday. Okay. So the other thing, remember, next week we're gonna talk about Richard Nixon's presidency. So we're gonna start talking a little bit about the 1960s. Remember, the 1970s. Nixon was president from 1968 until he resigned because of the Watergate scandal during the election of 1972. He resigned in 1974, I think. I have to look. I can't really remember. But we're going to do a lot about Nixon next week and Watergate, which was his downfall. Then the week after that, we're going to do the rest of the 70s. So Ford and Carter, the last 2 presidents in the 1970s. And then we'll do the 80s, which is Reagan and George H.W. Bush. Those were the 2 presidents of the 1980s. Then we'll do the 90s. Bill Clinton was the president for 8 years of the 90s, so mostly the Clinton presidency. And then we'll do the 2000s. George W. Bush, 9/11, whatever we can get to before finals. So that's just what's coming up. So the other thing I'm putting on here today is the rise. It's from Crash Course. It's the rise of conservatism. So what helped get Nixon elected in '68? So I was just talking about what was going on during Nixon's presidency. I would like for you to watch that. So when we start doing the stuff for Nixon next week, you'll already have a little bit of background information on Nixon. So just remember, guys, the only work for tomorrow is your bibliography. Make sure you get that bibliography complete, find your sources, get that turned in. If a source ends up changing when you do the final project, then you need to send me an update and say, hey, I actually changed sources. This is what I use as a source. So if I check these things, guys, I need to be able to find them. So if it's a website, I need to be able to find it. If it was from a book, you'll tell me what the book was that it was from, and I'll be able to find it. All right. So just to make sure you understand, primary source is a source like someone was actually there. Secondary source is someone writing about it from like secondhand knowledge. So a primary source would be like if you read something from a person that was actually at Woodstock, and you're doing something along the anti-war movement or something, and you're mentioning Woodstock. That's what would be a primary source. Secondary source would be a historian now looking back and writing a book about what was going on at Woodstock. Right? So if you have any questions about if anything's primary or secondary source, or if it's a valid source, remember Wikipedia, not valid sources. So if you have any of those, log in tomorrow during our Google Meet time and ask me, or if you want to ask me if a source is a good source or not. If you have any questions about formatting your or putting together your project. Please log in to the Google Meet time from either 9:15 to 10:45, and then I usually get back on around 1 o'clock or so for just about 25, 30 minutes, just depending on if people are there or not. All right. Have a good day, guys, and get those bibliographies done, and then enjoy your weekend. See you guys later.